Everyone knows this photograph, right? It's known as the kiss, and it came to define victory in the Second World War. But after 75 years, why do we still know so little about the people in it? The photo was taken by life photographer Alfred Eisenstadt on the 14th of August 1945 in Times Square, New York. When it comes to the people in the image, however, there has long loomed a cloud of uncertainty over their true identities. Let's go back to the start. The image first appeared in the 27th of August 1945 edition of Life magazine, alongside many other photos of the celebrations that followed Japan's unconditional surrender. But out of all of them, it was this one that caught the imagination of first Americans, then people across the world. This can be attributed to the photograph's composition. The dark sailor uniform, juxtaposed against the white nurse's outfit, wedged between another dark figure and a light one, the Times Square backdrop stretching back into the distance. Alfred Eisenstadt, who took the image, talks about how the other photos he took of this event never made the cut, as they each lacked the pleasing combination of features we all know. When you see this image of the same moment, taken by a US Navy photographer, you realise how inch-perfect Alfred's photo really is. But it's not just this incredible composition that makes this photograph so unlikely. More on that later though. The photograph resonated with people of the time. For many, it symbolised the end of the fighting, the sailor representing troops returning from war, the nurse, those that would welcome them back with open arms, and Times Square, home. As the photograph's popularity grew, people began to speculate about who the two subjects may be. Many people came forward claiming to be in the photograph, although it wasn't until 1980, when Life magazine ran the photo again, that these claims really began heating up. There were several frontrunners, and for some time it was widely believed that a man named Carl Muscarello was the sailor, and he thought Edith Shane to be the woman who he had kissed. The pair attended events commemorating the occasion, but Edith's 4'10" stature caused some eyebrows to be raised. That was when history teacher Lawrence Verrier and retired Navy captain George Galdarisi got involved. Engrossed by the mystery, they spent 2 decades poring over photographs, eyewitness testimonies, and scientific research, collating the evidence they found in their book, The Kissing Sailor. If their findings are correct, then that places George Mendonça, a US Navy quartermaster, in frame alongside dental nurse Greta Friedman. This claim is backed up by the results of a high-tech project that compared Mendonça's face with the one in the original photo. Scientists at the Mitsubishi Electric Research Laboratories took 4,000 digital images, which were then de-aged in order to recreate a 3D model of a 22-year-old Mendonça's face. Although not conclusive, the researchers said it seemed to be a good fit. Other efforts include a study by Yale University, which scrutinized the photographs and determined that it was Mr. Mendonça, citing specific features, like a cyst on his left arm and a dark patch on his right. A forensic anthropologist at Michigan State University also analysed the photo and concluded they could not find a single inconsistency between Mr. Mendonça's face and the sailor's. George Mendonça says his most conclusive proof of all, however, is Rita. Who's Rita? That would be George's girlfriend at the time, who he says is right here. They'd been on a date at Radio City Music Hall when news of the end of the war was announced. They took to the streets and joined the celebrations. Rita always maintained that the kiss had never bothered her, and the pair remained married until George's passing in 2019. But incredibly, this moment could have been thwarted by fate numerous times. Its main subjects and the photographer himself all came face to face with the perils of war. Eisenstadt, the man who took the photograph, fought for Germany in World War I, nearly meeting his end when he was hit by shrapnel. George Mendonça had nearly perished at the hands of a typhoon that claimed the lives of hundreds of his fellow sailors. Finally, Greta Friedman, the dental nurse, had only narrowly escaped the Nazi regime when she fled to the USA in 1939. Her parents, who stayed behind, died in the Holocaust. The paths of these three people intertwining that day is an unlikelihood worth admiring, and produced perhaps the most famous photograph of the Second World War. But what matters was never really who these people were, but rather what these anonymous uniforms represented that made this kiss iconic. In a photograph that captured the relief of a world weary of war.